What's up, everybody? We're live. Right on time this time. Let's go. What's up, everybody? We got Dustin's here. Thomas, Zack B, Perry, Sup, Perry, Philip Swift, Bug and Ava here as one as usual. Ink Bug's here. Reese, he's ready. Reese is ready. Fry Minis is taking some notes on how to live stream with internet. We do have internet. We have been through the ups and downs. People have been here from the beginning. Woo-hoo! Man, did we have some internet problems whenever we were streaming on this bad boy right here. So, in the house. What's up, James? What's up, Mike? Bad Hombres is here. We got some bad hombres in the chat. Santiago, hello. What's up, Josh? Chimera's here. Yeah. Vance, happy to make one. I know, right? I'm about to change up when I do my live streams, though. I don't know. I'm about to change up when I do my live streams. We'll see, though. I'm gonna make a polls and stuff, all that kind of stuff. Whoa, starting it off on fire. CH, $25 super chat. Wow, for 1,000 years I have slumbered. CH coming in with some vengeance. Oh man. I appreciate that, CH. I appreciate that. Sebastian, what's up? What's up? Cleric Corner, what's up, man? Zack B. Crazed Armadillo. Armadillo is my favorite animal, just for the record. Just for the record. The Q&A is about anything. Channel, games, D&D, all that good stuff. So, heck yeah. Kirby, howdy there. Chandler, what's up? So many familiar faces, or names, I guess. Fry Minis with the $2 super chat. Popeye's chicken sandwich, regular or spicy. You gotta go spicy, always spicy. I love me some spice, man. My dad grew up in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. That's awesome. Scatterbug, oh, that's funny. You've been a member for 17 months. That's nuts, bro. Look at that. You got the ancient dragon icon next to your name. The little YouTube members get the little icon next to their name and it grows and stuff. Woo! I'm about to do some stuff with YouTube members too. We got a lot of big things coming with the channel. I'm gonna launch at the beginning of the year. Cause yeah, there's some behind the scenes stuff there, but I'm just gonna say that for now. And Ava is the same thing that this does. That's so cool. I don't even know what y'all are doing. How do y'all even do that? That's so cool. Who would win, Piccolo or Future Trunks? Oh my gosh. Oh, I just like Future Trunks better, so I'm gonna say Future Trunks. Okay, here's what this is going down, guys. We're doing a Q&A style. We haven't done these in a little bit. I've been doing a bunch of campaign prep because there's so much going on. It's been honestly cool to do campaign prep with you guys. So that's been awesome. And I wanted to stop and do a Q&A though. I'm really ahead on the campaign. I have a whole different way that I have been doing my game prep to make it literally 4 times more efficient. So I'll probably make a video on that at some point soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, let's get it popping. How this works is I got the all those super chats are going to take down the boss. And if you land the killing blow on the boss, you become the next boss. So you see CH is the boss. So if you want to take down CH, you can attack him and take him down. So, oh, James, thanks. Oh, James Wren says, happy belated birthday. I appreciate that. I have one of these. Check it out. My wife got me a purple dragon balloon. This is one of like 6 or 7. We had a D&D one shot that I did with my wife, one of her best friends, and her best friend's boyfriend, and none of them had played D&D before. And I ran a one shot of D&D Lite, which is a system that I have patented, or I'm in the works. Another thing going on. But there's my birthday dragon from last week. So thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right, here we go. So sorry for the interruption. But if you have a question, go ahead and hashtag question. And I don't know if I have moderators. I don't know if that's the case. I'm going to try and do my best solo here to answer your questions. And if I get behind or if I get swamped in questions, if you want a super chat that jumps to the front of the line, of course, I appreciate the super chats as y'all have been doing. And I'm going to be doing some stuff here in the future with how these live stream Q&As go, because I really love doing them and I want to kind of make them kind of a regular thing. So without further ado, and you can ask a question about anything. Somebody asked that earlier, what the questions are for. You can ask whatever question you want. Whatever question. I have not been asked a question that I have not yet answered. But now that I say that, I maybe regret saying that. So we will kick you from the chat. I'm just kidding. Don't get too spicy like that chicken sandwich, right? Inflatable purple dragon, iconic. Wow. That's funny. What we got? How did the Hunger Games? How'd the Hunger Games theme one shot go? It was amazing. It was amazing. We had there was 20 different groups of 3 that got thrown into the Hunger Games, and it wasn't a survival to the end. It was, you had to plant your flag in the center of the arena, and there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex that chased down the group. There were so many really creative uses of random items that I'd given my party for the different little challenges that I threw at them, and they had a blast with it. And 3 people that never played D&D before actually liked it, and they even talked about playing it again and all this kind of stuff. So it was a total win. Loved it. Best birthday ever. So heck yeah. Okay, so we got some questions. Let me see if I can grab the first one. Reese has the first question. Since prestidigitation allows a player to make non-magical trinkets for a turn, what would you define a trinket as? Just wondering how far shenanigans will be able to go. Yeah, I would say it's going to be prestidigitation's making a trinket. I would say something that fits in this size. This off the top of my head. Something that fits inside of this necklace, ring, amulet, gem, some little small trinket. Okay, cool. And that's about it. You know, I respect the hustle as far as shenanigans go, but I would definitely see where they're going with that. And also like repeated uses, I think as well, is if somebody's coming out, like thinking outside the box, right? Think outside the box, and they come up with something real cool, I'm gonna probably give them a little bit more slack on that rope. But then if they start like repeatedly doing that over and over again and trying to feel like they're breaking the game, because that's a big difference, guys, is if your player is trying to break the game and take advantage of the game, and that's the place they're coming from, instead of a place of like, oh, what if this would be, you know what I'm saying? So awesome. Prestidigitation. So many uses. Fry Minis has a question. If DC Artificer is going to ban him again, if DC Artificer shows up, Fry Minis, I'd probably leave the channel. I'd probably leave the chat. He's out to get you, man. He's out to get you. Prestidigitation shenanigans. Oh, I thought that was going to rhyme. When I said that, I thought that was going to rhyme. Philip Swift, Destroyer of Worlds. Question. Kresnik Vampire Hunter or Werewolf Vampire Hunter? Oh, I don't know what a Kresnik is. So I'm going to go Werewolf Vampire Hunter because I just did a whole werewolf PDF. And I love me some werewolves. And I tried to throw werewolves into my main campaign and my players dodged it again. But that's a whole nother story. Uncomfortable Zone. Hopefully we have, wait. Kovo 375. What is your quick and dirty take on investigation versus perception? I love this. Is this a rant? It's not a rant. I have an investigation video and I did an insight video, so I don't want to do too many check videos. My quick and dirty on investigation and perception is investigation is moving things, touching things, moving things around, investigating, getting your hands dirty. Perception is looking and viewing. That's where I draw the line for myself. I think that's the cleanest way to do it. It makes the most sense to me. If there is my best analogy I use for this is like a desk, right? Imagine like a desk that has like secret compartments in it and stuff. If you're looking around the desk, you don't know if it's trapped or not. You're looking around, you're trying to just evaluate and perceive what's going on. Perception. As soon as you start to touch, I'm opening drawers right now. Can you see me? As soon as you start to open drawers, you're investigating, right? I'm investigating. I'm like looking for secret things underneath it here. I'm touching it, right? That's where my investigation comes in. So there you go. There's the quick and dirty. You said quick and dirty. I gave you quick and dirty. Next question. Uncomfortable zone. Here we go. Hey, I'm making my own source book full of homebrew. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's written in the perspective of my changeling wizard PC, Ruse Wilton. How does the same Ruse research on remarkable sound for book? Ruse research on remarkable. I almost feel like you need something like on remarkable what? You know what I'm saying? Like I'd say like Ruse research on remarkable remedies. Patent it. I get 5% cut on. We're just kidding. And it sounds cool. I love alliteration. Al Kenner's Almanac of all things, right? Triple A. So I that speaks to me. Your question format or your book format speaks to me, and that's really awesome. Changeling Wizard. That's super cool. Super cool. Quasm says, question, who's your favorite video editor? That would be Quasms. He's my only video editor. The only other video editor I have is myself, and that's terrible. And I just don't have the time for it. So Quasms is a MVP right there. Heck yeah. That's funny. What is your favorite impression? Oh, my favorite impression. Favorite impression, probably Stewie Griffin. It's been a long time doing this one, yeah? It's hard to kind of jump into it, but I guess this is good enough. Good enough right now, fat man. But usually when I do impressions, and I've tried working on that, is to try and jump into impressions like very quickly. Because whenever you're DMing, I don't have time to be like, oh, fat man. Yes, hello, welcome to my humble abode here. So I have to do some sort of like key phrasing. But that's a whole nother thing on impressions. So love it. Coulter Wilson, oh my goodness, Coulter Wilson has a super chat. Appreciate it, Coulter. Balloon monster stat blocks in the future. Ooh. Balloon monster. I have a balloon spell in this month's Patreon PDF. I have a balloon spell. Spray it. There's like a bunch of balloons that kind of float out and stuff. It's like a circus themed spell for the circus themed PDF. But a balloon monster, that'd be super awesome. Vulnerable to piercing damage. Whenever it pops, it has a thunder damage sound that happens. That's super cool. That's super cool. It grows throughout the whole fight. It grows. It starts off and it starts to get bigger and bigger as the fight goes on. That's just the things off the top of my head. That's fun. That's fun. Okay. Next question. Question. How do you do recaps of the last session? Do you do them or have the players do it? Richard Snow. I have played around with this. I've played around with this thought. I've played around with having the players do it. But it just doesn't, that never really worked for me. It never really worked for me. I do it in general. I tell my players, if I miss something, let me know. You know, I just throw that out there and then I give the recap. And then I can paint the picture and get them back into it. I think a lot of times, you know, if I ever had a player that was like really interested in doing the recaps, then I would do it. But in general, nobody's voiced that they were interested in it, and I don't want to put that on my players if they're not interested in doing it. You know what I'm saying? And this also gives me a little bit of foreshadowing options where I have a lot of interweaving plots and mystery and intrigue and twists and turns. A lot of that is weaved into my homebrew worlds. So a lot of times I paint the picture and I make sure, because with an interweaving world, I want to give them hints and clues. So I want to make sure the recap is almost an opportunity for me to weave in a little bit of hints and clues and stuff as I go through and like make sure I reference like, oh yeah, this, because there's one time where they met this person and they saved their life. They're all scarred up and scratched up and they saved their life and healed the person and sent them off to a camp where they had some friends outpost over off the side. And he's like, yeah, they'll protect you out there. Little did they know that this person is infected with lycanthropy, and they sent off a freshly lycanthropy infected, not being able to control it, off to their friends, and one of the 4 friends died. So in that recap, I made sure to reference and like, oh, he was all wounded and scratched up and scarred and ripped up, but you saved him and sent him off to your friends. And I like being able to control that and say that as the recap so that I can make sure to plant those little seeds again so that whenever the big reveal does happen where, oh my gosh, Karen died. The NPC's name was Karen. And yes, their personality was a Karen. They died, fittingly so. And they were like, oh my God. And they were kind of responsible for it. So anyway, but that seed was planted. So there's my question, answer to you, Richard Snow. Josh, question. Do you think Liam and Ashley will stick with their EXU characters for all of campaign 3? I think so. I think so. Yes. Welcome, Josh. I don't know if y'all have if some of y'all are here from the Critical Role breakdowns I've been doing. I've been really having fun doing those. Those are really fun to do. So I do think Liam and Ashley are going to stick with their EXU characters. One, for Liam, he's always said he wants a halfling. There's so many times that he's wanted to reroll a halfling. He's gone on record saying, my next character will be a halfling. It will be a halfling. It'll be halfling. So it's a halfling. I don't see him switching it up and like re-rolling a different halfling. And Orm's pretty awesome. And I think usually, it's locking in Orm. He's all the maneuvers he does. And Ashley, Fern is the best character Ashley's ever played by a landslide. It's so cool to see her. Fern is one of my favorite characters. So yeah, and that's as far as I'll leave it with that, because a lot of people probably haven't seen Critical Role, so I don't want to like dive into that. And none of that was spoilers, so no worries. Zach B, question: What percentage of your campaign prep is based on your players' submitted backstories? Do you change things and connect characters more, or do you let them draw on their own connections? Zach B, go to the description of any of my recent videos or just search Dungeon Coach Plays. Dungeon Coach Plays on YouTube. It's my second channel, and I go a full breakdown into how I created from scratch an entire campaign world based on my players' submitted backstories, however big or small they were. Some of them didn't give me a lot to work with, but some of them did. And one of them players said they had amnesia and they found themselves in the desert. And I made an entire story, campaign world, plot, big bad, all this kind of stuff, completely based around that. So 100% is my short story answer to that, but I have a full-blown situation there on Dungeon Coach Plays. Check that out. Sydney Smith, question: what would you do if a player wants to play a disabled character? Feats like Observant, offering lip reading, but the boosted to perception would only be relevant to sight of a deaf character. Yeah. So anytime a player has ever wanted to nerf themselves in any way, I've had players want to have a spell work a certain way and like reduce the efficiency of the spell, like they have to be doing this, that, or that, or they have to have a certain thing, or they have to use both hands or whatever. I've had players impose spell components on themselves where they're heavily tracking spell components. Anytime a player wants to impose some sort of nerf to themselves, I'm going to look for opportunities to give them a buff somewhere else, 100%. So if you want to disable yourself and you are deaf, if you are a deaf character, amazing. Oh my gosh, I want to run a thing for that. You know what I mean? I want to run a world for that. I want to play with that by that player. I think it's so cool. And I want to introduce times where that disability that their character have, that restriction that their character has is a problem, and they have to deal with it, right? And I want to throw that at them, but the same breath, I'm going to throw at them things where it's an advantage, right? I'm going to do some sort of thunder clapping, boom, loud echo rumbles out. You're unaffected. You'd have no save. You take no damage. Oh my gosh, wait, what? And it's an advantage in that case. And so there's some sort of high pitch, something that's like, God's giving everybody disadvantage on everything they do, except for you. You know what I'm saying? I just got chills. Chill check. See the chills? See the chills on my arm? Freaking love this stuff. Sydney Smith, that was a great question. Crazed Armadillo question. My players are faced with a choice of going to the botanical college or stealing from the Baron of the Thieves Guild, but they haven't made a choice yet, and now I have to prep two options. Yeah, please help. So I usually try and end session. If I know there's a branch coming up, I try and end the session at the fork in the road so that I can prep the direction. You know what I mean? So, that's rough. I would outline both. Yeah, I would say half-ass your prep on both, right? However much time you normally would have spent prepping, cut it in half and spend it on both, right? And just lightly prep. And this is going to be a really great exercise for you to stretch your DMing skills and function with less, and you will surprise yourself. I promise you will surprise yourself. Outline the thoughts of what you have, like what potential story beats could happen. Think about the players and like what would happen in that direction if there's any sort of backstory things to tie into that direction. A location, NPCs, and secrets. Try and think about like what things could reveal themselves if they go either of those directions, and just there you go. I have a whole nother system that I could really dive into and pull up some stuff on, but then I'd go off the deep end and this would stop being a Q&A. So good luck, Crazed Armadillo. I think you will surprise yourself, and this will make you a stronger dungeon master with you having to prep 2 times. Don't double your time. Stay honest with yourself and try and really prep both ways, and then see what happens and be ready to rock, right? That's super cool. Another little random tip though is throw a combat at them. Make sure that they have, if you want to try and slow things down, combats take forever, and you can always throw a really cool combat at them that's like on the way towards either one that you could have, easily put either way. Some really cool fun combat to kind of slow the game down so the session doesn't go as long, or the session goes at the same time, but they don't get as far down that road, right? So you have this big combat and it takes like an hour of the game time, and then they can keep going farther, but then your time runs out. There's another little random tip there. Okay, cool. Let's see. I'm trying. Wait, hamster. Wait, what? Okay, I got to find back where my questions were, because I'm flying solo. I need more moderators. If you guys are interested in being moderators, message DC Artificer over on my Discord. Discord's linked down in the description as usual. Okay, cool. Tanya Barodine, question: top 3 session prep tips when you're pressed for time. Ooh, do you guys want a session prep? All right, say in the comments. We got 59 people. Type in the comments right now if you want to see my session prep guide, a little sneak peek into that video if you want to see that, because that's a second question there. So Tanya, I will answer your question. I'm going to answer one more question and then come back to that. I want to see if everyone's down to go down this rabbit hole. And then break the game, love werewolves. Okay, Kirby has a question. How do you handle when the party gets split? Yes. For example, how long do you stick with one group, especially when one group has something very interesting and the other group is less exciting? I love split groups. I love what that entails and what that means and all that kind of stuff. If it's in the middle of the session, you can't avoid it. I've had times where the party was split at the end of a session, and then you can, that's super great. You can work on both ends and you can reconcile certain things. I've had a group come early, like this group came an hour early and we started going through it, and then we wrapped up, like we finished up as people started to kind of get in here, or the rest of the group kind of got here, and then we could get them up to speed with what just happened. So that was another cool way to do it. But another thing is to just go back and forth with each beat, right? So if they're having something really cool and interesting happen, yeah, dive into it, play some stuff, do some stuff. But then over here, something happens, and an NPC comes in and they have a message or something, and you have to choose, and then they have time to think about something, and like, oh, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Go back to over here, So I had the time I'm thinking of when the party was split. One player was breaking into a prison, got kidnapped, and was in a cell fighting for his life against another person. It was this big high intensity moment, and the other group was like searching through some stuff and like investigating things, right? And I told them like how long you stay here is going to depend on how, like, when y'all are able to go and get him. So they had to really choose each time. So then I'd be like, all right, and that's what happens to you guys. Boom, over here, you open the cell door, you look across, you hear some noises, blah, blah, blah. And they were thinking about if they want to stay there for another round or if they want to go. So they had some sort of stakes or some sort of something to be able to think about and keep juggling, right, in their minds, and then be entertained with the other thing that's going on, but make sure to keep going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Cool. All right. So where we at? We diving in? Session prep. Yes. Okay, cool. I got you guys. So Fryman has a question. 7-Eleven, so super chat. Would you wake up You wake up to a zombie apocalypse. What do you do? What weapon do you grab? Where do you hide? Which YouTuber looks the most delicious? Wait, you wake up to a zombie apocalypse. Which YouTuber looks the most delicious? Am I a zombie? I don't think I'm a zombie. So I don't know which YouTuber looks most delicious. But what weapon do I grab? Where do I do? I would go to a prison and I would get a crossbow. And I'd hide in the prison. I'd do it Walking Dead style. I'd channel all my Walking Dead episodes that I've watched and all the different places they'd hold up in. I thought school, but I was like, no, we gotta have more security than that. So prison. I'm putting myself in the slammer. Friday says the most random questions. Okay, I am gonna get my game prep thing going up here. So I'm gonna throw this here. And I'm going to go into Rift of Nations. No. I'm going to do my overall. Oh, sorry. Bingo. All right. This is my Rift of Nations session prep list for my campaign. So players, if you're watching this, don't watch this. There's that. So DM tips here. Can y'all see over off the side here? Okay, cool. So I have my game prep list, and here's my game prep list. So here is the end all be all to all game prep lists. Sly Flourish, Lazy Dungeon Master, has a great resource for all of this. I've digested all of that. I have digested all of how to be a great GM, all these different channels of game prep. How do you game prep is faster? Because I used to game prep for like 6 hours. I would game prep for a 4-hour session. I'd prep more than I'd actually play. It's crazy. But now I am down to about an hour for a 4-hour session, 3 to 4 hour session. So here is the rundown. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see it? Maybe I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Yeah, we're good there. All right, cool. Is that? I feel like that's not the setup I normally have. Oh wow, that's my world. That's my game world. I didn't know I had that. Okay, cool. I guess we're gonna rock with this. Huh? No. Okay. We're gonna rock with this. Okay. Anyway, and I also can't see the chat right now, so I'm just gonna show you guys this, and then we'll dive back into it. So reflect on the character's goals and connections. I'm thinking about. In fact, I'll even do. No, do I have session start? Action hooker cutscene? Yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll stick with this. So I just look at my characters and think about what they have going on. What goals do they have? What kind of ambitions do they have? What are they involved with? Their backstories, all that kind of stuff. And I just think on that. This probably takes me a minute, 2 minutes. I just kind of think about that, right? And then outline potential scenes. That's what I was talking about earlier. Outline potential scenes. What things could possibly happen? If I were to be Nostradamus and see into the future, what potential scenes could be going down? I'm talking bullet points of one sentence, not even sentences, right? Secrets and clues. I'm thinking about what secrets and clues are going to reveal themselves and show them to the world. And a lot of times I don't have that thing happen until the secret's revealed. So if there's someone's kidnapped and they're blah, 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 like that, the kidnap hasn't happened yet until they find out about it. And oh my goodness, right? Because I don't want to have like, oh, they never found out about it. Your little sister got kidnapped. Oh, they're kidnapped. Oh, and they have a ransom for it. And you never found out and they killed her. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? So, but secrets and clues, I have different things about what do I want to reveal? What little nuggets do I want to reveal about the world? Key NPCs to flush them out. What types of things they have. I get an appearance, personality, goals, resources, and a voice for myself. What's going on. And I have a little list right here of 20, well, it's 23, but these are my NPC list of whenever I make NPCs. When I pre-make NPCs on my Dungeon Master screen, I have NPCs like a D10 list. This is my D20 list. So I have over 30 plus NPCs that I can just out at the drop of a hat. And so I'm going to pick one. 13 is cautious and will not speak to magic users. So I randomly generated all of this so they'd be really cautious and they okay. So hello there. I don't want to. Oh, who you in the back? You in the back? And like what did you? And like they'd be super curious about what's going on with this person in the back. Oh, cautious. I thought I'd say curious. So cautious. We'd be like, oh, you stay away. You know. And I would just kind of run with that depending on where they go or what they're going in or who this NPC is. Is it a guard? If it's a guard, now I'm gonna pat down the spellcaster and maybe confiscate some of their stuff. If it's the shop owner, I'm not gonna sell to them, or I'm gonna ask them to stay outside or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gonna be some instant stuff. And this NPC right now is so much more flavorful than like some random vanilla, random guard. Anyway, so there's my random list of things I have there. Session start. What am I going to do at the beginning of the session? How's the beginning of the session going to go? Some sort of scene that I have for them that I set up, some sort of side thing of like some sort of like a narrative thing that's something that's like a cutscene of where they don't even see in some sort of meta way, like, ooh, that's interesting, or throw them into something or shake them into something, or just have a smooth start, however that goes. Get some really nice locations, some really cool locations with descriptions, so that I can have I can paint a description in like 3 sentences. I try to do 3 sentences with one of those sentences having something you can interact with, right? That's the next thing. And then I do monsters and combat mechanics last. In fact, honestly, no, I do rewards after that. So I do combat mechanics and any sort of like whatever combat things I know are going to happen. I'll throw those down, and then I have generic combat for stuff. In fact, do I even have it here? Here we go. Check this out. Here's my Dungeon Master screen ready to go for next session. Can I grab? Oh, it's here. So this is. Oh, I guess we should go back to big screen. This is Shagra forces. This is my monster stat block for something I have. The Shagra forces, the nation of Shagra, is known for their sound magic, like sound, like any sort of magic that involves like sound, thunder, hearing, hey, like the death thing we just talked about. So there's a booming blade type sound traps. So imagine booming blade, but just applied to everything. So there's gonna be an archer with booming blade. So as soon as they hit you, this like this pulses and rings of energy go around you, and if you move it, like this high-pitched piercing screech goes out and deals damage to you and anything around you. I literally just made everything I just said up from reading the word booming blade sound trap walls attacks. Done. So traps and walls, archer's gonna shoot the sound into the ground and hit a random spot, and there's this pulsing, vibrating ground. What does that do? I don't know. They keep shooting it in different spots in the ground. This one archer just keeps every turn shooting in different spots, and if they make a triangle, something happens. Or maybe it's a square, something happens inside the square. You see what I'm saying? And I don't have to prep anything, because I just come up with concepts of what they do, and then I issue it out on the fly if I need to. If this becomes a fight and I'm like, they're going to the Shagra base and they're gonna fight this thing and I want to have a thing, then yes, I'll make out the encounter, I'll balance it out, I'll make the things, I'll have all the minis picked, all that stuff. But until then, this is my Shagra base, and this is my miniature bag for Shagra army people. They're all green and stuff, right? So, and I'm ready for any time anyone wants to throw down some Shagra forces, and I can come up with mechanics on the fly because I just have conceptualized thoughts of mechanics. And then I give, back to here. Rewards, magic items, and connected to all the secrets that's going on. And then I have music for the session and maps for the session. Done. There you go. There you go. Let's get back to the chat now. There's a big old detour. Big old detour. Okay. We're coming back. Thanks to the Forever DM. Oh, cool, Sydney. That's your deaf character. That's awesome. Iconic, yes. Darren Dixon. Oh, Kirby. What's up, Kirby? Thank you, Kirby. Wow, your split party example is very close to the current situation. Nice. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I would think of something for the boring group. For the boring group, I had an NPC come in and start helping them, and they could talk with the NPC and find out some stuff and have some little conversations back and forth. And also the other thing is time. You got to make sure to the timelines flow between each of them. So there you go. Sweet, awesome. And I was making sure I'm caught back up in the chat. Question of your sci-fi. I just saw Bad Hombre's question. Have I ever run a sci-fi D&D game or campaign? I have not ran one as a dungeon master, but I have played in one in a one-shot. And the only shtick was it was post-apocalyptic, so technology was definitely there. I wouldn't say sci-fi. We weren't in space. It was like a post-apocalyptic, like nuclear fallout type situation. Everything you had to do was explain through technology, and it was on the players to come up with it. It was a new dungeon master who was doing his thing, and he's like, everything you do have to explain with technology. So you can pick any spell, you can make a D&D character as usual, but any class feature or any spell you have has to be explained through technology. So, and the guy said, he goes, nobody can be a druid though, because that doesn't make sense. Shape-shifting. I was like, you don't know who you're talking to, dude. I'm thinking outside the box. You can't put me in a box. I'm already outside of it. So I was a druid who was like a shape-shifting metal, like Beast Wars Transformer type Person I had a moonbeam, but it was a drone that shot out. The drone. It was like like floated over and like missile or like an energy beam down. Like that was the moonbeam. It was a little drone. I can move it around. So anyway, there's my tips for that, hombre. All right, back to the questions. Back to the questions. Where the heck did I go? We had that huge detour. We had a huge detour. Eggnog, good or eggnog? Oh, eggnog. I love eggnog. Eggnog is amazing. Cleric Corner. Do you handle the party? Okay, so we got the split question, and now we're back on track. Cool. Cheeky's Doc. Question: how do you manage shopping and clerks? My game seemed to screech to a halt when players walk into a shop and I have no idea what they want. And every time I pitch some items to them. All right, we got something else for you right here. Where's my? Do I have it right here? I should have it right here. Do I have it right here? Yeah. This is my shopping list for any and everything that any player could ever want ever. Right? So it's the cost in the columns is how much it costs. Y'all can screenshot that. That is top secret, live stream exclusive. I'm eventually going to make a PDF, put on my website with all this type of stuff for gold. But gold is quite a thing here. Quite a thing, right? So that is what I do for shops. So like I have every shop possible prepped right now. Like we could walk into a shop and we could throw it down. A lot of times with the shopkeeper, I will ping it to them. Like, what do you want? Like, what are you looking for? And then I'll tell them what we got. And then I'll come up with cost for them. So I put a lot of the creation process on them. And I also have on the back of my Dungeon Master screen, like 40 different magic items. And some of those magic items are, I have a list of mundane items. I have a whole video on this, top 20 mundane items. Check that out. There's a whole list. You can put that list in there. So I can roll on, like, what do you have? Let's see. And I'd like just look at the chart and I'd say manacles and I'd think of a spell, silence, done. So silence manacles. Great. You know what I'm saying? Or think of a spell of poison. Okay, poison manacles. So you put them on there and they slowly take poison damage over time. Right. So you can come up with magic items like that out of nowhere if they really are like being like that. But in general, I either prep it out beforehand because I know there's going to be a shop that they're going to go to because it's like the theme of the place they're going to, or make it up on the fly with my handy dandy little chart right there. So cool. Dreamweaver. Question: have you considered making the Dungeon Company a coop owned business? You and your crew are making something awesome, and that'd be a great opportunity for all the creatives to co-own. Interesting, Dreamweaver. In general, that's not like we aren't even at the point where I can do this full time yet. I'm still teaching and doing all this other stuff. So until it gets to the point where it's like a legit company where it's not like ran through Discord and I like try and do my best to like pay tips to all the people that are joining in on this process, and I'm working at, and as we grow and being able to pay them more and more, and once we get to the point where it's like a full-blown company I can go full-time, then yeah, I would totally have different things that I want to up the business side of the thing, as far as the communication platform that we're on, getting people all fixed up with everything to where I can truly like do it how I want to do it, not how I currently have to do it, because I'm just trying to make it happen in the first place. So I appreciate that. I do think it is something awesome. So that's awesome. What else we got? Iconic Stewie Griffin. Man, I'm behind in the chat, y'all. CH has a question. Come up with a magic item for an insane artificer. So far, her main weapon is a wild magic hand cannon called the Shenanigun. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing. The Shenanigun. Oh my god, that's nuts. That's nuts. I love that so much. Okay, so an insane artificer. They have a wild magic. My thought went to wild magic right off the bat. So, in fact, challenge to you guys. Let's throw down a magic item for CH here. He already super chatted earlier, so I'm tagging this here. That we're gonna make sure we do this one up good. And I'm also still up high in the chat. I haven't scrolled or anything. I'm going to say my thoughts, and then we'll scroll down into the chat and get everybody's thoughts, and we'll have a little brainstorm sesh here for an insane artificer. Insane artificer. What if he had an item that could take magic item properties and expand them? You know, like I'm imagining like a Tinker Tool type magic item where he can take wild, or he can take normal magic items and amplify them up in some way. So let's say you have gauntlets of ogre strength. Okay, sure, because that's the most classic. I hate the magic item, but classic, right? So got some sort of gauntlets to give you strength. Okay, cool. And he can go and like blah, amplify it, and you roll a d20. High, it gets amplified. Low, it gets hurt. And I would say for this, I would say 10 and up is amplified, and 9 and down hurts. So there's technically a 55% chance something good happens, 45 bad. And nat 20, nat 1s would be nuts. And then that's all the magic item would do. It would do something crazy and amplify a current existing magic item. Something super awesome, something super bad. So for the gauntlets of strength in some way, you would get extremely strong for 1 minute. Like you are stupid, like you grow in size. Enlarge comes to mind. They'd start to enlarge, and they deal 1d4. They add 1d4 to all their damage and strength based anything checks, attacks, whatever, and then they shrink back down afterwards. Whoa, that was crazy, you know. And they can use it once per long rest. So you can like take an item and just like supercharge the item and like take its pre-existing faculties and expand on it. Or you tap it and they shrink down, they get all weak and scrawny, and they roll a d4 and subtract it from everything, and they're smaller, and it's hilarious, right? So there's that. That's what I would make. That's fun. Okay, let me check the chat and see what anybody was saying for this. Oh man, I'm so behind on chat. How'd you run guns? That's a whole nother conversation. So Matthew Peace. Go to my ranged weapon homebrew, ranged weapons fix homebrew. It's one of my more recent videos. My crossbow mechanics is what I do for guns in general. But you add on the reload. So crossbows have reload 1, which means you shoot once and you have to reload. Guns would have reloads 5, like reload 4, reload 2, reload 6, whatever. And you could do that same property. And you could have like sniper rifles do the exact same property as crossbows, but you could dial up the weapon damage, etc., etc. Limit ammo uses, like heavily limit ammo usage depending on your world setting. That's my little quick thing with guns there. Cool. Puzzle idea. Puzzle. Ooh, there's a puzzle. Who had a puzzle idea? Magic item opens up into a portal. So I guess now I've narrowed my. A map puzzle engraved with stones in the structure. Players slide them to create a picture. That's cool. These are some cool items. Players need X, either knowledge of location or portal from the turtle's back. Oh, okay, we're going. Y'all are deep down into some stuff. I'm out of the loop on that one. How would you run? Okay, we're back to how'd you run guns. Kale David with a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Coach, how do you run nat 20 crits on spells like inflict wounds? Do you max the 3d8 to 24, then have the player roll something different? Oh baby. Crits. Here's how I would run crits. Do you oh yeah, that's not the whole question. So if you want to go crazy criticals, and I've done this before, how the math would work on 3d8, you would take 3d8. This is the 3 of the d8s, and you double it to 6d8, right? You have the 3 original d8s and the 3 critical d8s. Oh my goodness. You would take those critical d8s, the 3 of them, and you would max them out to 24. So it'd be 24, and you'd roll these, and it'd be bonkers damage. Oh my God, it'd be nuts, right? That's one way to do it. But in general, criticals in that way get stupid. Like rogues, paladins, and spells get just brokenly stupid. So in general, how I'd run that now is whenever you have a critical, you max 1 of each dice. You know what I'm saying? So you roll a natural 20, the 3d8 goes to 6d8. Oh my God, 6d8. That's already going to be nice. And then I would max out 1 of those. You know what I'm saying? So you max out 1 of each of the damage type, right? So I would max out a D8 and then they would roll the rest of them, right? So you get a guaranteed 8. And how I do that is they actually get all 6 D8s, and then they take one of the D8s and just put down an 8 and then roll, right? It feels the most natural. All the players understand it now, and it works out smooth. So on something with a lot of dice, like fireball, well, I guess fireballs, dragon breath weapons, etc., but a lot of those things are saving throws, but that's a whole different conversation of a nat 1 on a saving throws in the same thing as a 20 technically. So you could do some stuff with that. So in general, if you roll a nat 1 on a saving throw, it's a critical and it's real bad. So I do the same thing. So if you roll a nat 1 on a critical, if you roll a nat 1 on a dexterity save from a fireball, then one of those dice become maxed. Not that big of a deal, but I just stick to the same system, the same, so everybody max then critical craziness, right? All right, we got another super chat. Oh my goodness, thank you guys. Dracon, I remember you, Draconino, thank you for the $20 super chat, for real. How do I make my combat challenging but not too deadly? When I feel it's a good combat, the players felt it was hell. I often feel it's too easy. Oh, yeah. So if it was too deadly, the player... Wait. When I feel it's a good combat, the players feel it was hell. I often feel it's too easy. Okay, cool. So y'all are not synced up on how it feels. So I think there's two things going on here. One is fairness. Okay. A lot of times you want to make sure that the mechanics of all of the stuff that's going on is fair. So if there's some sort of, like, a lot of times there's some boss mechanics where you attack and you auto grapple. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, there's no check for the grapple. There's not a strength contest or anything. You just are grappled, right? So that's fine. And there's sometimes, I think it's a T-Rex jaw bite or whatever. You are grappled and restrained, right? Oof. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of times where if things are rough and things are, you felt like the combat went good, like, yeah, everything was nice, the combat went how I wanted it to, and they're like, oh my gosh, every moment was just on the edge of my, oh my god, it can be draining for players too, which I guess is going to be some other points. So I'll stay on this main one. Is you want the players to feel like they have control or they affect the outcome of the fight, obviously. So if they're just scrambling for their dear lives and things are going terrible, they're making extremely pro moves. This is probably the biggest point here, is they're making pro moves every single round. They're going nuts they're coming up with awesome, like, crazy ideas, and then they barely survive. You know what I'm saying? That can kind of maybe feel bad, right? Whereas on the other side of things, the fight was crazy and they made some dumb decisions. Like, oh my gosh, there was a time where my players were on a stealth mission, and during the stealth mission, the druid transforms into a gorilla. Totally fine. You could be a sneaky gorilla. But then after he takes 2 guards and bashes their heads together, super cool moment, he got caught up in the role play and described himself pounding on his chest, "Whoa!" and like getting caught up in the gorilla moment. And everyone realized what was about to happen. And I brought the hammer down on him. The whole thing came underneath, and it was, oh my God, right? It's almost like it's gonna be hell, but they're gonna be okay with that hell because they caused it. You know what I mean? Like, their decisions led to hell, right? So they're not gonna be like, oh man, it's not fair. That's what I mean by not fair. So that's one thing. And then sorry, I got distracted with the chat. Okay. Another thing is kind of what I was referencing with players having to go all out. Like, if the players are making amazing moves, the combat should start to get easier. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, early on when I was a dungeon master, like, if I felt like I want this fight to be real hard, I want it to be real hard, yeah. And then, like, players will start to be like super creative. They come up with all these ideas and they start to completely destroy my fight. I'm like, reinforcements, and like, different stuff you can do as a dungeon master with, like, there's more of these things now, or like, ooh, this another bit, like, and it just I would keep escalating it, and that feels bad. And so I found myself that I don't do that type of stuff as much anymore. If my players are making next level moves, then the fight, they should destroy the fight. You know, I've had an entire fight where I thought it was going to be next level and they dismantled it because they paired their abilities up in ways I never thought and completely disabled this main key part of all of these chain reaction mechanics I had set in place. It was amazing, and it was one of the most proud moments I've had as a dungeon master. So that's what I mean by fairness and balance of their choices affecting things, right? So other than that, I feel like a good comment. Players feel as hell. You also want to make sure, the last thing I want to say to this is you want to make sure that you don't always have your fights be just life or death every single time. You know what I mean? I also got caught up with this where all of my fights were like ×3 deadly. All of them, right? I think that's my favorite place to be. That's important. But I wanted to make sure to throw out some combats that aren't quite so daunting, right? Or aren't quite so hairpin trigger. Oh my gosh, I was about to die the whole time. That was nuts. You know what I mean? But I think again, the fairness is might be one of the bigger things I say is a lot of the times if the dice are going a certain way or their choices led them to a certain direction, it's going to be bad and they're going to be able to stomach that more. So there you go. We got the Equinox time. Okay. I love seeing all you guys like talk to each other. You're like atting each other. That's so cool. It's like I have a bunch of YouTube children and they're all just like playing in the same playpen together. So cool. Oh, we got 71 people. Let's go. What else we got? Oh man, it's already 9:21. Let's go. Ooh, time's flying when you're talking D&D. Let's see. We got Coulter Wilson with a $10 super chat. Appreciate it. I'm making a ring with 5 empty gem slots for a draconic sorcerer joining my table. Oh, I already see where this is going. Thanos, baby, let's go. These gems can be found in hordes after killing dragons. When placed in the ring, 5, what should they do? Ooh, Coulter Wilson, let's go. Oh, sorry, I missed out my thing. Dracarino is the boss right now. Sorry, I was in the wrong mode. Draconic sorcerer joining the table. You got to kill dragons to get this thing. You got to kill 5 dragons to be able to get this ring. That's nuts. What I would do off the top of my head is I would come up with the big badass final version of this gauntlet, right? Yellow Duts, I just saw that. Children, how about friends? My YouTube friends. And I was picturing, anyway, better example, Yellow. Sorry. Back to the ring. Wait, no. Empty. Yeah, it's a ring. Okay. Come up with the big final version of what it can do. I would have the 5 different things be based on the 5 different dragons. So if it's a red, a blue, a green, a black, etc., 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 you have all those different types of things. And I would hammer in maybe a school of magic theme, an element of damage theme, a status effect theme. Like maybe there's a black gem and it's like necrotic reduced healing, etc. Or the blue gem is the lightning type situation, which is like a paralyzed type effect. Whatever type of thing you want to give these 5 different things. Basically come up with 5 different mini little magic items that are all going to be combined eventually into this one ring to rule them all. And then I would come up with staged down versions of this thing. This might sound like a big crazy magic item that I'm hypothetically making right now, but this is a player's backstory in it. Like, yeah, I made a weapon that like shifted and changed as you swung it, and it had like 8 different categories and 5 different levels of each category. So there's 40 different things on this one magic item, legendary weapon he had, and he could customize, and he was a blacksmith, and he could spend blacksmithing to like upgrade different parts of it and like work on the different forms of his weapon. They could shift into a scythe and shift into a mace and shift into an axe and shift into a sword. And he could work on the different parts of it, and he could customize it to fit it. It was this whole thing, right? So I don't think it's crazy to have 5 different magic items in one ring with different stages, you know what I mean? So I would have essentially 25. Like I would have 5 different types of magic items in 5 different stages, right? So when you first got the first gem, whatever that gem is, it would be like super weak little like, oh, it's the fire gemstone and you can like shoot fire out of it. That's all it does, right? And then when you get the second gemstone in there, now the fire thing shoots fire at it and catches the thing that it hits on fire. Ooh, it's like 1 notch higher up. And they get the other version of the other color, you know, and they can like grow this thing, and the power between them all gets stronger and stuff. Yeah, and then maybe the more they use it, it gets stronger. You can make this whole thing like evolve and grow with them. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking with this ring. So there you go, Coulter. I appreciate you. Scatterbug with a $5 super chat. Art Sneak Attack question. What is best in life? What is best in life? Art Sneak Attack? Art best in life? I like origami, but what is best in life? I don't know where this question is directed towards. The best thing in life? That's a deep question there. That's a deep question there. The best thing in life would be see? Gosh, you're getting deep on me, because I would say like making people around you better. Lifting those up around you to spread this is kind of maybe a little Critical Role analogy for the first one, but leave people better than you left them, than where you met them. There you go. Leave people better than when you met them. So that your impact on people is they are better off for having met you. There you go. That's the best thing in life. Okay. So we are 5 minutes till wait, these people get it. Crush your enemies. What's best in life? Maybe I went too deep and there's actually maybe a joke. Conan the Barbarian. Crush your enemies. Okay, maybe I should. Maybe I wasn't the super deep answer, and it should have been some sort of joke about Conan the Barbarian. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna do a rapid fire questions, and understand people. That's a good one. Draconino. The best thing in life is a feeling of assimilating the life forces of your foes into your own. Okay, I'm gonna do a turbo question mode. I did not get to all the questions, and I'm even scrolling back to try and find questions, but I can't even find them. Small adventure, random weapon generator. Oh, you made a weapon generator. That's awesome. Damn a dab. What an awesome name, Damn a dab. I'm looking for another. Well, I'm gonna go out on one more question. I'm scrolling from the top. Auto charge. What if you do if a PC gets an NPC pregnant? Oh wow. Like there's a good way to incorporate that in the game without leaving out the other players. Are there interesting things to do with it? Yeah. So I have had my 3-year long campaign. My PCs, 2 of my PCs got 2 in different NPCs pregnant, and they had like 2 very different relationships with it. One of them went through this whole marriage thing and did this whole thing with it, and the other one kind of just like became like a bunch of hippies living off the land and stuff. And they like taught them how to like live, and they just kind of like live life together, and it was this really crazy thing. And towards the end, it was just downtime stuff. So auto charge, it's just downtime. You don't have to have leave out the other players. You know, they can do whatever they want in their downtime, right? So I wouldn't make it a huge central point of the whole thing. One thing I did whenever as soon as this was an interesting story beat, I wanted to expand the scope of the game and have downtimes be like 3 months at a time, right? So like downtimes became like 2 months. Every time we did downtime was like 2 months of time passed by. What are y'all doing? And I made sure the story lended itself to that, so that time could pass, so these bigger things could happen. So the cool thing of what would happen is 2 of these players had cool time stuff going on because their kids were getting born, their wives were getting more pregnant and starting to show, etc. And that was a cool thing that they wanted to dive into. Didn't mean the other 2 players had to dive into that. One of them was made a business and was an entrepreneur and started his own business, and they got to be able to grow the business. So he was excited to be able to grow his own business and open up a leatherworking trade shop and be able to grow and invest money into it. I came up with a whole mechanic of how to be an entrepreneur inside of D&D. Like, so that player was able to extend time and like do all these cool things, and then another player wanted to go and start his own like army of like people that go out and like save the world in these small little capacities. So we had 2 babies on the way, an entrepreneur and a army general, and that's what they would do during their downtime. So I started to talk to the other players about what types of things can you do for your downtime in a big long picture, and I started to shift our downtimes. Instead of like weeks at a time, it was months at a time, and it was really cool. It was really, really cool to see that. So yeah, that's my best answer to that question. Give them other things to engage with. That's a long-term type stuff. We talk D&D. What's up, bro? Oh my God, Ryan, that's crazy, dude. What's up, my dude? What's up, my dude? That's crazy. I just now saw that. So I don't even know if We Talk D&D is still here. That's crazy. All right, that is Art Sneak Attack. There we go. And Draconino, another $5 super chat. Oh, okay, here we go. Draconino. Yeah, Draconino. There we go. I said it right a couple times, and I butchered it some other times. Do you have a list of random world events, both major and real tiny, similar to what the great GM was talking about recently? Oh, Draconino! I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to shift back over here, right? Oh, wait. Can y'all see? Okay, cool. I'm going to go to my DM binder here. Okay, also, hold up. Players, if any of my 4 players are here, better freaking turn your screen off. Get out of here. Go get. Now go on and get, right? All right, here we go. Also, this full DM binder is available to my patrons. I have a DM binder notes. I'm going to start changing some stuff around. It's going to be available. I forget what tier it's available to, but I'm going to start moving it around to give it to more patrons. Because I want to share my little DM notes and all these different things here to show how I set up my game world or prep for it or whatever. So, okay, so DM binder. Here's my campaign plots, different things I have going on, random potion list, big magic items, random effects, magic items, tables, big events. Here we go. Big world ending events, right? So these are, I have a deck of cards. Heyo. Yeah. Boom. I have this little deck of cards that I have, and they draw from it, right? And this is a really cool day. It's Fable. It's like a Fable game deck, right? And it's just cards, it's like medieval themed cards. That's a Joker. It's like a chicken in a pot or whatever. And yeah, it's all, and like the Jack, and you got the kings, and then the aces of crown, etc. So super cool cards. And they draw the card just like the deck of many things. So I call it the deck of big things. And at some points that I feel like I want to spice things up, I have them draw from it. And face cards are good. And I think a 10 was good. Everything else is either neutral or bad. And that's how I rank. You can still see it. Okay. So a Joker is something big and bad for that character. So if they draw a Joker, it's them specifically that has something bad that's going to happen at some point, right? And I don't have it all happen immediately. It doesn't happen as soon as you draw the card. It happens in the world as soon as you draw the card, but it's not going to, you might not even know. So it's kind of this looming effect. I like it. I think it's cool. And then it also matters who draws the card. So I go around the table and we make rounds. So as soon as everybody's drawn one card, all right, who's going to go next? And we do it again. But I don't do it all the time. I think have drawn 4 cards total so far, and it's going to be actually marked here. So if they draw 1, which is the ace, then the BBEG, who's actually not the BBEG, shows up and throws down. Like, that's crazy. Like, something bad's going to happen, real bad. And I'm going to make it sure when this happens, it's going to be bad, guys. It's going to be bad. Like, it's the worst thing that can happen. I need them to respect this deck, and every future time I ever hype up something, it's going to be bad. They drew a 2, and Lycans attacked the Tech Nation. There's an entire siege on the Tech Nation where this Lycan forces attacked their home city. That was crazy. That was from them drawing a 2. And then that completely changed the story and flow of the world entirely. The mountain nation starts to fall. Coastal nation starts to fall. Different pieces are attacking each other. There's a rot outbreak, which is a disease outbreak across the land. A false arrest. They're brainwashed, or they are accused of something that they did in a big way. Their allies in their home city are going to turn against them because they're going to be framed for something bad. 7 is they're called to war, which is where they're going right now. They're heading off to the ruins to be called into war. 8 was the Wanderers attack. There is north of where they're at, the Wanderers, which is a whole group of these wandering savages, are attacking some place up at the top there. Oh my God, that's crazy. 10 was one of the NPCs, little cats, reveals that they actually are a bit magical. They drew that, card, and then the cat starts casting magic spells now and stuff, and they're like, wait, we knew this cat was weird, but something's going on, so that's going to further accelerate that side of the plot. Gain a follower to serve. There's this a lot. Some of this stuff is that one's from the deck of many things. I really like that one. They gain a follower and all that kind of stuff. They get gifts from the big bad NPC, and then they talk to General Flint Ortham, who is and this parentheses is the voice accent I use for them. That's why it says Gerard Butler right there. Anyway, yeah, they're gonna meet the big king of the Tech Nation, and that's the only time they're gonna ever meet him is if they draw a 13. I don't have any plans for them to meet him other than that. So there is the whole spiel on that. So I hope that is helpful. Draconino. Yeah, nice. And yeah, so that's what I use for big world events. So I hope that helps. How often do they draw an event card? It's just feel thing, honestly. If I feel like they're in a spot where like, all right, cool. Like you're here now and y'all are kind of about to, you know, like, draw a card. You know what I'm saying? Like, draw a card. If there's ever a lull, when I feel a little bit of a lull, draw a card. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep there always be something. And even if the card doesn't initiate right away, it could, you don't know. It's like looming over them. So I think the time, the best example is they went south and they did a couple quests, and they had a quest little hub. They were in a town. They did a quest, came back to town, and then they went out back, and then they figured out some sort of thing with a dam, and then they came back to town, and they were just passing through. And when they got back to town, I said, all right, somebody's got to draw a card. And they're like, oh, wait a second. So it was something that would have been just a normal bubba hubba dubba, and it was a little more interesting. And then they drew that card, they drew the 2, and we're about close to the end of the session. So I described them traveling, going through something or other, and then your sending stone goes off, and it's a message from General Grant. The city, it's under attack, you know, and they're like, whoa, what? And then we ended the session. So I love it for stuff like that. Anytime there's a lull, or anytime, you know, you just want to be a little spicy, you know what I'm saying? So, oh gosh, guys, y'all are keeping the stream going. I am Become Jeff. I am Become Jeff. What's up, my dude? What's up, coach? Missed the past few streams, but happy to be here. I missed a bit today. Is this basically a dope way to introduce a metric ton of plot points, or more for random encounters? Speaking of, I am Become Jeff has unlocked random encounters. I am prepared as hell, you guys. Magic items. I have big magic items. That's not a good list. Oh, this one. See how this one only has 2 things on it? I have a list from things I have for my patron PDFs. That patron PDFs every single month. I give it a whole bunch of different stuff. Check it out. It's in the description. And I fill it out with some of my favorite ones here that fit my campaign. I love all of the magic items. I literally like am involved with the whole process of making them, but certain ones really fit the style of my campaign, like sands and all this kind of stuff, because one of my players is from the desert. Random magic effects. I have a D20 list of random magic effects. Historical magic items. I have 20 different magic items on command that I can pull up at any time. 20 more magic items for ancient history of my world. So I have, at any moment, I have 60 different magic items that I can just drop on my players if I needed to. This is my main Dungeon Master binder. That's why it's called Dungeon Master binder right there. Side quests, these don't really matter. Random encounters. This, I am Become Jeff, is my random encounters. If they're in the grasslands, I have a D20 table of different encounters that I could have them roll on. 20, and I could roll it myself. They could roll it. I have a whole bunch of different random encounter videos coming out soon. And random encounter during the daytime, I love this. They roll a 1, there's gonna be a giant rock, like a giant bird, that fly by and destroy them. They roll a 2, they're gonna lose time during travel. They roll a 3, they gain time during travel. Super simple stuff. And I have a whole other things there for that. Creature tables, a D20 of like creatures that they could randomly come across, or if I want to randomly describe something or whatever, because I've had them have combats where like, you guys see A, and I roll on it, I'm like, you see an onkeg, oh my god, how'd you guys defeat the onkeg? Everybody roll a D20. So they'll all roll a D20, and then like the highest person was the one that like saved the day, and the lowest person was the one that just beefed it, and they get to just describe a funny moment of how they fought this onkeg that they never really fought, but they fought because we say they fought it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Anyway, so there we go. I am Become Jeff with another super chat. Never mind, you answered the question as I sent it. My B. You apologized with a super chat. How awesome is that? That's funny. That's funny. So I'm Become Jeff. I'm excited. I have some stuff in the works. I have literally a spreadsheet right here. This says social media master with your name on it. So, but that's a whole nother topic for another time. So this has been fun, guys. We went a little overtime, but thanks for coming by. We got 64 people now. These are fun. These really, really are fun for me. I love doing them. I've been doing a lot of campaign creation stuff, but I really do like to help you guys, right? I think I hear a lot, at least, that the campaign creation live streams do help, and like showing game prep and showing how to make this and this stuff and just seeing it actually happen helps. But I do think I do love being able to hear a question from you guys and at least give my 2 cents into the whole thing. So anyway, stay creative, think outside the box.